Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to, of course, Knoxville Raceway. A short last-minute race to kind of kick off UpperEdge Racing. Of course, here this whole night brought to you by World of Thunder. The guys over there putting it all together for us. Of course, Will Duvall, Stephen McMillan, and everybody involved with World of Thunder. We thank them for coming on board to kick this night of racing off. I don't even know what words to describe what we saw coming into this one, but we are going to throw it over to Nolan to introduce, of course, our second chair here for tonight, Nolan Ripple. Nolan, again, 60 plus, so actually right at 60 drivers. We filled the lobby in less than a minute. The insanity of these drivers coming in here for $100 to win, 50 for second, and 25 for third, with some other bonuses on the line.
And you have some pretty big names in here as well, Cody. As a matter of fact, you got World of Outlaw sprint car and late model world championship contender Alex Bergeron in the lobby right now. You got Nick Cooper, other drivers involved, Kendall Tucker, you got David Cardwell. So some really, really big names here in the lobby tonight. So that means this is going to be one heck of a competition. I mean, it's a very competitive lobby. In fact, you got about first place all the way on back to 34th in this practice session, separated by less than half a second.
Yeah, it is not separating me much, and there you see the times on the screen. We do apologize for the absence of some numbers there. Again, when you have nearly 1,700 drivers in the league, there's going to be duplicate numbers and three-digit numbers that we just don't have into our overlays yet. Of course, it's a fun race. It's just for money, no points, no nothing on the line. However, of course, as with any UpperEdge racing event and World of Thunder event, rules will be enforced, sporting code will be enforced, so I expect to see some really good racing. We should see some clean racing here tonight. About a minute 50, just under 2 minutes left in the practice session here. Again, with the field packing as much as it is, we're going to see all of the heat races. We're going to see 2 to 3 B mains. And that's where it gets interesting, knowing only one driver is going to advance from each B main to field the field here for that feature race.
You have the 3 consolation races, and only the winner gets to advance. So that means we're going to have a 21 car field for the 100-lap feature. Of course, we have a scheduled 6 heat races. It looks like we will be using all 6 of those heat races, and the top 3 advance from those. So it's going to be a very, very intense race. We'll be seeing those heat races filled up a bit more than we're used to seeing. Usually we're used to seeing about only 5-6 cars, in one of those feature races. We could be seeing up to about 10 people in every single heat race tonight. Final minute is left in practice before we move on over to qualifying, and we are getting set for an absolutely stacked night of action tonight.
Yeah, it is going to be a stacked for sure. And of course, before we dive too deep into the racing, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. Of course, there's a lot of different platforms that we are going to here tonight. I know it was last minute to go to the YouTube side of things here for LSR TV, so not too many people tuning in there like we typically have. But if you're watching, share it out there. That is, of course, the highest quality. If you just look up LSR TV on YouTube. And of course, we are on 2 different Facebook platforms here tonight, over on the World of Thunder Esports League and of course our own home at LSR TV. About 5 seconds left to go on the clock, Nolan, for practice, and there is no possible way we're going to be able to cover everybody here in qualifying, but of course we're going to do our best. It's impossible, Nolan. 2 people with 60 cars, is not happening.
And it certainly is not going to happen. There might be even some drivers whose names will go pretty much unmentioned throughout the entirety of the broadcast. And, so that means these drivers want to get their good old screen time. They are going to have to make sure they put in one heck of a performance today. Qualifying now underway, 5 minutes, and each driver has 3 laps to set the distance. We are taking a look right now at that number 22 machine right now. That is Brandon Weeks in the 22 car, just setting out for his qualifying run.
Yeah, and actually, and this is where you get into those multiple numbers. 22 on the car, which the 22 is Brandon Weeks, but the 39 is what he's actually being scored as of AJ. So, again, you have so many numbers, they can't physically put them all on cars. You'd have to have, digits all the way up into, the thousands. You can't get that. So we will have some numbers being shared here, unfortunately, tonight. But for the sake of the viewers, we'll do our best to go by the numbers on the car so that you know who we're watching. But, that is essentially the number 22 of AJ out there. And 18,205 right now, currently third, now sixth fastest, as Ryan Flatten's going to take it to the top here. And, well, as I say that, Craig Schwartz going to take it to the top in the O2 machine.
Check that again. Nick Cooper, the pro driver, up at the boards right now, but not by much, only by 0.03 of a second over Craig Schwartz. So very, very tight qualified run here today. Already we have looks to be about 37 guys have set times here today, and so far Nick Cooper, he is up there at the top, but only just.
Yeah, and looks like a couple of cars having some connection issues, probably. Hopefully it's not on our end. But there is definitely some connection issues going on around here. And it's been a long time, though, since we've seen the field this full, so hopefully it's not on our end, but definitely some issues going on there. But it looks to be resolved for the most part, as you have that iconic 00 of Kendall Tucker out on track. Scored as number 19, but 00 on the car. We'll just have to kind of wait and see how he does for, I believe that's Swindell Speed Labs. And again, about 18-second times as he runs a 17.751, and that'll put him in second place. And hopefully we haven't lost Nolan there. I'm not sure. Nolan, you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm having a bit of issues on my own end here, just trying to sort these out at the same time.
Hello, we may be seeing some issues. I do know there is maintenance scheduled for iRacing here coming soon, so that could possibly be the issue, as you have the number 35 or 44 as we know him, Blake Cannon, out on track. We'll see what he does right now. 18,141 is that's not gonna do it as he smacks the outside wall. We'll jump over to JD Brown in the number 14 machine, number 36 in the scoring loop, and he's right now a 18,120, and so he'll jump to 21st again. 18,120, and he's mired deep in this field in 21st position. 21st, not going to be where you want to be starting this race. And of course, we have Colton Hardy, Ryan Dyson, and Keith Bradley that look to be scratches here for the night. We know Keith Bradley thought he didn't make it in. He did, fortunately, make it in. Unfortunately, he didn't think he did. And he has since wandered off, and hopefully we'll hear from Ryan Dyson, who, for the ones that don't know, is the former owner of UpperEdge Racing. Of course, we acquired it here recently in the last month, but unfortunate not to see him here. And Colton Hardy not going to be making it as well. Still some drivers out on track. All of these guys have qualified, so looking just to get an extra few laps in that 3:31 of Dustin Hall. So we'll see again just a few extra laps here with the last 30 seconds of qualifying underway. We will step away real quick and we'll get a quick word from one of our sponsors, and we'll come back with Heat Race number 1.
ETE Reman is the world's best remanufacturer of transmissions for import and domestic cars and trucks. Based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, our customers are repair shops, auto parts stores, dealerships, and distributors. And with 6 nationwide warehouses, we're where and when you need us. So when you're looking for a transmission that is like new, only better, instill confidence and install ETE Reman.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So heat race number 1 is taking to the grid here for tonight's race. Again, we'll use the full fancy grid brought to you by ComServe Wireless for your feature race. But for heat race number 1, we'll go ahead and pull them up onto the side of your screen. It's going to be Kendall Tucker and Blake Cannon going to be on row number 1. That should be a powerhouse of a match on row 1. Behind them is going to be Dustin Hall, Austin Matthews, Alex Payne, Hunter Heck, Bobby, again, I can't even read the name. It's so small on our timing screen. We'll have to get that on the scoring tower. Brennan Weeks, Tommy Rowe, and of course Trent Curtis going to be in this race. Again, a very stacked field here. Nolan, is we keep harping on that, but 60 cars came in here in less than a minute. It's going to be some good racing.
So the pace truck is getting set to lead them around. Larry, the pace car driver, or pace truck driver in this case, hopefully he does not have to do too much work at the end of the night. Bobby Mattingly is the driver, by the way, that you were trying to get in the number 3 car, starting down in the 7th position on the second to last row of the grid. So far, all 10 cars, though, are present and accounted for heat race number 1.
Yes, they are. Mattingly, there we go. Now I can see it my timing screen. I got to increase the font size on there just a little bit. Either it got smaller or my eyes are getting old here, but either way, Mattingly there sitting in 7th position, and we just want to let everyone know, of course, how it's going to go down. 6 heat races. Top 3 advance. There are 10 drivers each heat race. Of course, one of them going to have a few less because of those drivers not making it. But 6 heat races, top 3 advance. That is a tough chore, especially if you're back here like Curtis, Rowe, Weeks, even Mattingly back there. Those guys, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, they've got their work cut out for them to get to the front, to get in one of those top 3 spots.
So the pace truck leads it down to pit road. It's in the hands of the pro driver Kendall Tucker to lead him to the green. He is on the lap pedal. We're racing for the first time of the night here in Knoxville.
Yeah, we are racing again. We absolutely love this track. It's a fantastic facility, and the camera angles here, absolutely love them, thanks to iRacing. As you see them right there, they're all down on the bottom here, Nolan. They're not really moving up to that high side just yet. I have a feeling by the time this race gets to that 100-lap feature, we will see these guys pushing it further and further up to the track, and that guardrail of a wall is not friendly when you get up there and smack it too many times. You've got to be very careful. You don't want to hit it too hard, but we will see some bent fenders and probably some flared tempers here before this race is over. 100 laps plus heat races is a long time on this track to not get upset with somebody.
Alex Payne is already up into the final transfer spot, started 5th on the heat, and he managed to muscle his way past Dustin Hall into the 3rd position. And it's a 3-car breakaway right now, as you're seeing. You got 4th, 5th, and 6th running behind them. 7th and 8th right now are side by side. And then you got 9th and 10th just running in the back, all on their lonesome. Right now, the closest battle on track is actually for the 4th position, as Austin Matthews is trying to get his way underneath Dustin Hall, already halfway through heat race number 1.
Yeah, that HRE number 3 trying to punch his way into the top 3. But right now, that does belong to Payne. Hall just outside, and like you said, he is under heavy pressure from Matthews. Mattingly back there with him as well, and he's going to get right up to his back bumper. Doesn't touch him, but he gets right there. And the more they battle, the more those top 3 say, just keep it up, boys. We're moving on, and we're going to go to that feature later on.
Yeah, those top 3 have nothing to worry about right now, and I'm pretty sure Hall might not be the most happy with Matthews trying to race him so hard. Matthews is just trying to get himself into a good position here, potentially for that consolation race, so he's trying to do whatever he can. Gets a bit loose, though, off of turn number 4. Back end stepped it a bit too much and couldn't get the car sorted. Bobby Mattingly pushed it up the track a little bit while everybody else is still hugging that bottom side.
Yeah, and there you see it on the ticker there, coming up on 1 lap to go here in heat race number 1. Caution free so forward. Knock on some wood so we don't jinx that one. But the white flag is in the air for that 00 of Kendall Tucker, the lone pro here, and with that WC black stripe license for the World Championship. We'll see if he can be the champion here tonight in this little fun race to kick off the UpperEdge racing season that's coming in 2021. And he is going to do it. It's going to be Tucker, Cannon, and Payne moving on to the feature race. Everyone else going to the B main.
That is going to put us right through to heat race number 2, and there is a very big name starting on pole position for heat race number 2. It's in fact Alex Bergeron, a driver very much known, especially in the sprint car racing community, a very big contender in the World of Outlaws Sprint Car World Championship here on iRacing. Right next to him is Ryder Cantillo on the front row. Jacob Fields, Brett Osborne make a row number 2. Rounding out the top 5 in the first half of heat race number 2 is Huey Quillen, BJ Duval in 6th. You got James Grace and Corey Sibley 7th and 8th. Rounded out another 10-car field. Once again, all cars accounted for. It's going to be Bryson Ramey and Gary Peck.
Yeah, and, 2 drivers in here. One, you have, of course, BJ Duvall running for LSR TV and World of Thunder here tonight. And another one, Brett Osborne. I did not even know. I saw the Osborne, but I didn't know if it was him or not because I didn't pay too close of attention. But it is none other than the Brett Osborne that I know in real life, running a 600 mini sprint now. I've followed his career racing go-karts during the Winter Go-Kart Series for years. And I know for a fact if he shared it out there, I know his parents are probably watching. And I give him grief every time I know they're out there watching because, his mother still owes me a bag of cotton candy. And I think I told her she didn't give me cotton candy soon. I had a steak dinner coming. But if I didn't, well, I just did. But still looking for that cotton candy. But, Osborne looking to see if he can get a win here tonight and pocket $100.
So, getting set to go racing for heat race number 2. All in the hands this time of Alex Bergeron, the Canadian, trying to see what he can make here at Knoxville Speedway and lock himself onto the second spot on that front row of the feature event today. Green flag drops once again. We're off and away, and it's Bergeron well clear into turn number 1. It's over. Oh, 1 car, 2, 3, 4, sliding behind half the field, collecting in turn number 2, and Brett Osborne is upside down.
And he goes for a violent ride there. We'll take a quick look and see what happened in the swag replay. As again, Osborne going for a ride upside down. That is not how he wanted to start to this night at all. And you'll see exactly what happened here. It was all on the start. He had Will Duvall behind him, and the 4 next to him, the 4 just gets into his back quarter panel, spins him around, and then that had remnants of I'm not sure the race it was. Wesley was calling it this past weekend. They had a 16-car pileup on the start of a feature race. If we almost would have had that, but unfortunately we didn't have 16 cars in the race. So that was not pretty for a lot of drivers.
Jacob Fields had a bit of an embarrassing moment as well, actually. He actually pile drive Ryder Cantillo under caution just after the yellow flag came out. Cantillo checked up for the yellow flag. Fields was completely unsighted by this and ran him over and nearly spun himself. Cantillo pretty much unfazed, but Fields slid all the way down and nearly slammed the inside wall. So very lucky there for Jacob Fields. He did manage to keep that 3rd position as the field by this point was already frozen. So he was able to regain that position, thank goodness.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to lose any positions. Again, top 3 are all that advance. Good news for these guys. If you're James Grace, Bryson back there, Huey, these guys, they can still make it as caution laps don't count.
1 lap left to go. Alex Bergeron still leads. We've only completed 1 lap here so far. That is 1 green flag lap. We'll have to see if we can get a couple more in this time. Looks like we got pretty much the whole field once again stacked up, doubled up, save for Brett Osborne, who had to take that toe to the pits after being flipped upside down. What the Canadian do in this restart? He got a pretty good jump last time around and definitely got clear of the cars behind. We'll have to see if he can do the same this time around.
Yeah, and apologies there. I had to mute my mic. Got a coughing fit. All that dust being thrown up from that wreck. Kind of little dust in my throat there, and I had to clear it out. But the green flag back in the air is the big bad Alex Bergeron still out front in that number 12 machine. He's he's definitely got the power. Jacob Fields behind him, and that D1RT machine, of course, D1RT dominance. Absolutely going to be a race during the feature. If those two can be anywhere near each other, it's going to be a heck of a race. But Cantillo and Grace sitting there, really kind of single file out here, Nolan. We haven't seen too much here since the green flag dropped after that big pile up there. Everybody really kind of taking it easier now after that incident.
Grace did try to have a look up the inside of Ryder Cantillo for the transfer spot. That didn't go so well for him. Take a look at this side-by-side battle of those Huey Quillen trying to find his way up the inside of James Grace. This is the battle for 4th and 5th right now, and Quillen's got the nose in there, and he's going to actually force Grace further up the track, and he's going to try to put himself up into the 4th position here. Bryson Ramey as well trying to find his way into the mix, maybe making a 3-car battle for the 4th position, the first spot just outside of the transfer spots. Just like he was number 1, this is allowing for the top 3 to get a very good breakaway on the rest of the field.
Yeah, we've seen that breakaway for the top 3 both races now, and again, it may be a breakaway now, but come feature time, it's not going to be as big a breakaway as it is right now. You see those, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're going to be all together come race time. But Alex Bergeron still out front as it's 2 laps to go. Again, you mentioned those black stripes, the World Championship drivers. Alex Bergeron, he has said, see you later, checked out, threw the counters on the key, and keys on the counter, and there he is going to take the white flag. 1 lap to go for Alex Bergeron. Can he do it for Alex Bergeron Racing here? Can he get the win in the main race? Again, $100 to the winner, 50 and 25 going to 2nd and 3rd. This is all about money. No points on the line as Alex Bergeron will take the win here in heat race number 2, followed by Fields and Cantillo going to the A main. Everyone else, B main bound.
It was a good effort from James Grace to try to pick up the final transfer spot on the restart, but unfortunately for him, Ryder Cantillo was just too strong on the outside line. It was not close enough to make the move.
It just wasn't quite there. That's what is here. That is heat race number 3, going to be Cooper Logan on row 1. Of course, that is Nick Cooper and Matthew Logan, followed by Fitz Hardy. We're gonna again the AJ. We're gonna have to Albreda. We're gonna have to get the correct pronunciation for that name. English. That is something I sometimes struggle with in 6th position. Dixon. Hummerding, Powell, and Sheehan gonna be your 10 drivers here for heat race number 3. We are almost halfway done with heat races at the conclusion of this one.
Yeah, just about. This time it's another pro driver, as you have pro drivers lock out 1, 2, and 3 in the 5-minute qualifying session prior to heat race number 1. So this will mark the final time we're going to be seeing a pro driver really on the pole for one of these heat races. So we'll have to see what can Nick Cooper do on the restart. We've seen the other 2 pro drivers get really good launches off the line. We'll have to see if he can do the same.
Yeah, it's definitely going to just be a tester. You've got to be patient. You're going to get tested by these guys behind you, especially someone like Trevor Fitz, Chase Hardy. These guys are not going to just let you walk away with it. Someone like Hardy in 4th position, Sean English. These guys are not just going to say, all right, you can take top 3, I'll go to the B. No, these guys want to lock themselves in. The only plus side, Nolan, that I see of going through the B main is if you're up front in the B main, you actually get a little bit more time on this track to see how it evolves. Downside is, well, you got to go through the B and it's a fixed set, so you can't change it anyway. So we'll just have to wait and see how it all goes. But once again, the green flag drops, top 3 jump, and we got a battle for 4th once again.
Oh, check that, though. Might have a slider for the lead. They're trying to go 3 wide for 4th here as well. My goodness me, that's getting close. Sean English forced to really check up there in the background, but up front, Matthew Logan trying to have a go at Nick Cooper for the race lead. Cooper being pushed up to the top side of the racetrack. That's going to work out for him a little bit there. So Logan all of a sudden on defense from Trevor Fitz behind. AJ Albreda trying to have a look around for the final transfer spot. They're 3 wide now for 2nd place. Contact is made, and Albreda takes a slide to the inside. Yeah,
Albreda trying to hang in there with everything he's got. Albreda and Fitz right there together. Fitz is not going to just lay down and hand it to him. He will throw a still fit and try to get it. And he does have it right now, third and final transfer spot. And that battle's heating up for fourth once again. But the battle for fourth isn't for anything except for a B main trip. So you want to get in that top 3 position. And again, if you can't do it, unfortunate, but you got to go through the B, and that's how it's done. And again, we talked about the B. It is 3 B mains here tonight. No alphabet soup. Only 1 driver advancing from each B main. And right now, that is AJ Alberta that's going through that B main. And again, that's going to be tough, Nolan, only advancing 1 driver.
Going to be very tough indeed. They take 3 laps to go here. And so far, single file out for pretty much the entire field here in heat race number 3. And not a lot of battling going on since the start of the heat race, which I guess can be expected. Oh, no, heads up. Trevor Fitz just got muscled out of line for the final transfer spot. Albreda goes through into third. Trevor Fitz going to try to come back. He dumps him into turn number 1. Albreda trying to fight back. Here comes Chase Hardy now trying to go for it. They make more contact now. Hardy's spinning to the inside. He somehow hangs on to it. This is going to all of a sudden. Sean English is still making contact. English into the outside wall. They take the white flag. Side by side for fourth now. AJ Albreda down to fourth. Trevor Fitz up into third. Chase Hardy's getting dumped all over the place. He's all sorts of out of shape. 4 wide down the back straightaway. And they're all crashing behind as they're through turn number 4.
Yeah, they all crash behind them, and that's not going to affect the transfers, unfortunately, for these guys. And that is going to leave it to Nick Cooper to pick up heat race win number 3, as followed by Matthew Logan and Trevor Fitz going to be moving on. And I told you, Trevor Fitz would not take it lying down. AJ Alberta, they gave him a little shot, and well, Nolan, Trevor Fitz returned the favor, and you can't fault Trevor Fitz for that. You race how you want to get raced. He roughed him up a little bit, and Trevor Fitz came back and roughed him up as well. He didn't wreck him, but he did rough him up a little bit.
That was definitely quite a messy final couple laps. Everybody was just sliding all over the place. At that point in time, nobody's really in control there. You're just trying to keep it out of the wall at that point, not really worried about anybody else, and that's how we got that massive mess on the back straightaway. Heat race number 4 got to get underway. Craig Schwartz started off on the pole. Ryan Flatten in the second position. Davin Cardwell, one of the other pro drivers, in third. Beside him, another pro driver, J.D. Brown. Shane Yates rounded out the top 5. Hunter Parsons into 6th. Brandon Bolton 7th. Ashton Briggs 8th. Mitch Stiles 9th. And Colton Hardy rounded out the top 10. Your bottom row, both no-shows for heat race number 4.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for those no-shows there. Mitch Stiles was looking forward to him racing. We talked to him a little earlier today. And Colton Hardy not going to be here tonight as well. They are scratches here for this race. Again, unfortunate for them, but again, some of these guys just may have bowed out gracefully. As this is a little bit of money. It's not a big purse, $100 or technically 175 plus on the line with the bonuses, as there will be a $25 bonus on the line for whoever is on the pole for the feature race. If they will start in the rear of the field and work their way through and win the race, they get extra money on the line. So the question is the green flag about ready to come out? Nolan, would you go to the back and try to work your way up?
Well, probably not. If you're starting up front, I would definitely say try to keep yourself up front as much as you can. Green flag drops off and away once again. A good launch from Schwartz. Flat trying to get to the back end of him. Couldn't quite make it work. Side by side with Cardwell. Top 3 once again single file out. So is down to 4th. Battles on for 4th place here.
Yeah, and this is the first time, Nolan, that we've seen, well, there's actually 2. There was scheduled 3, but 2 Black Stripe World Championship drivers in this race, and both of them sitting in 3rd and 4th. They are not in the race lead. This is the first time that a pro driver has not been leading a heat race. And they're going to go 3 wide, battling for 3rd place between, right now, that is Cardwell, Brown, and Yates, all battling for 1 position, and that is the transfer position to go on to the A main versus having to fight through one of the 3 Bs.
They're side by side for the race lead as well, so this is a very competitive heat. Slide job up front for the race lead and for the transfer spot. Brown throwing a big slider there on David Cardwell, and Cardwell forced to come back to the inside, gets the move done. Side by side for the race lead, though. Flatton trying to cut back on Schwartz. Schwartz just threw a slider off Flatton. Getting really close, almost making contact in the turn number 4. Already halfway through heat race number 4. Ryan Flatton and Craig Schwartz side by side for the race lead into turn 1.
Yeah, it was barely Schwartz leading that race by about half of that plastic nose fender there, as he's going to drive it to the inside. Right now it is Flatton out front, and Flatton trying to hang on to the lead, and he'll do it as they get to the line. He completely clears him, and now it looks like Davin Cardwell is going to take it to the inside, make a little contact, and they go down the backstretch, just having a blast here, beating and banging.
JD Brown's got to try to make something work here if he's going to try to pick up himself a spot here in feature event contention, or if he's going to have to settle this in the B main. So Brown is still trying to find the inside. Craig Schwartz, comes up and makes contact with Schwartz, trying to muscle his way through. Definitely driving a bit down and dirty there, but hey, that is short track racing. Behind, Shane Yates throws a massive dive bomb, trying to find his way up the inside. White flag in the air.
Yeah, Nolan, there's a reason these cars are made of sheet metal and not just one piece. You can replace the pieces you need to, because they're going to get beat up and bent and destroyed. As right now, Ryan Flatton has the white flag in sight, and now he's got the checkered flag in sight as he's going to come, and he's going to take it. Third place is going to go securely to Schwartz, so it's going to be Flatton, Cardwell, and Schwartz going to be taking the top 3 spots. Moving on, and they are throwing some tempers back towards the back of the field.
Yeah, there was a contact in the final corner that actually resulted in our good friend JD Brown getting shuffled back. Shane Yates threw a massive dive bomb and really muscled him out of line. But I mean, hey, Brown was doing the exact same thing. So like you said in the last heat race, race how you want to be raced.
That is exactly how you race. You race how you want to be raced, and don't complain when what goes around comes around. Heat race number 5 of 6 currently on a track, and it's going to be Dylan Hauser, followed by John Ruggiero Jr., Cole Duggar out here on track, and that is Brad Bad Dyer in the 56, followed by Blake Murray Sorensen, Folds, Hunter, we'll have to get that one pronunciation on. Again, a lot of new drivers here, and Ryan Dyson, again, the former owner of UpperEdge Racing before LSR-TV acquired it. Not going to make the call here tonight, unfortunately. He said he wasn't real good at dirt, but he was going to give it a go. And something tells me he came in here, saw the field, and again, one of those drivers that has a lot of respect for other drivers, and drivers respect him, and he just gracefully bowed down to this one.
I mean, hey, if you're not too good at dirt, you pop into a lobby scene that you got like 8 guys that have fought in the Sprint Car World of Outlaws Late Model World Championships. I mean, what are you going to do? I would certainly do the same thing. There ain't no way you'll see me going up against Alex Bergeron anytime soon unless I'm actually trying to take him out in an enduro race. 1 lap to go before we go green.
Yeah, you wouldn't find me against, I wouldn't even go against half this field, probably over half this field, pro or non-pro. There's a lot of guys in here. You look at people like Cole Duggar, Brad Dyer that I've seen, Hagen Sorensen hauling the ham there. There's some guys in here that are not pros that I definitely would not go against any time for sure. As again, a green flag coming out this time. Behind the 2 of Dylan Hauser, going to get a good jump there, and I'm not sure who that is. That is John Ruggiero Jr. in that 44 machine, another D1RT driver. And look at the battle going on for second.
Stacking behind, multiple cars sliding around. They all save it. Austin Hunter gets the worst out of that deal. He was shuffled out way to the back end. Now he's got a lot of work to do. Battle on for the 5th position, though, as Cole Tucker trying to hang on. Hagen Sorensen is up in the top 5. He's now side by side with Tanner Folds. Folds diving up the inside, and bit of contact made there as well. Sorensen forced out of line, and Tanner Folds takes the top 5.
Yeah, and I want to point out here again, knock on some wood, knowing we've only had 1 caution in 5 heat races so far, and of course it was a big one. The fans come for the big one. Well, that's the only one we've had so far, and this battle going on for 4th place. Folds and Duggar, they're just right there. And Sorensen getting in there as well. The number 45 machine as Sorensen's going to slide up, can't quite complete the pass, the slide job there, and he'll have to settle for just a little bit as he will slide up there.
Yes, Cole Tucker is just having an absolutely terrible time right now. He is really struggling. He's dropped back so much before he started. He started third on the heat race, and now he's down to third. So this is definitely not what that 11 machine was hoping to see. Hagen Sorensen still trying to find his way up to fourth place around Tanner Folds. This is definitely the closest battle on the track right now. Folds taking a bit of a slider line, and that's it's actually gaining a bit of time. So that's a good move from him to continue to use that line. We're coming around down to 3 to go.
Yeah, 3 laps to go this time by for Dylan Hauser in that number 2 machine. And we'll see as he's going to run all the way up on the high side. You got the 44 of Rogerio Jr. He is taking it down to the bottom. So we're already starting to see different lines form here in this race. And you can see the track starting to wear as well, as there's going to be 2 laps to go in this race. And again, we told you earlier, Nolan, they would start to slide up to the high side of the track. They're starting to do that now. By the time we run all these heats, if they do not reset this track at all and carry it over, it is going to be a slicked off black track by the time it's all said and done, with the white flag in the air this time for Dylan Hauser.
Dylan Hauser doing a good job at keeping himself out in front with the race lead. The battle is definitely on for fourth. Keep eyes on Hauser, though, as he is going to drive it off of turn number 4 and to take the heat race win. It is going to be Ruggiero Jr. second, Murray third. Drivers into the line. Sorensen puts Tanner Folds into the wall as they cross the line for fourth place. Unfortunately, that is not going to get them into the feature of a race. A good run at the end, but that's not going to find you up with any transport spots. Finally, heat race of the night. Hayden Cardwell up in the first position. Got Colton Malone in second. Ethan Toder in third. Austin Carr fourth. James Ray and Kane Deller fifth and sixth. Joe Bornhorst in the sixth. Derek Keltner in eighth. And Ben Lewis and Keith Bradley rounding out another 10-car field. Bradley appears might be another no-show.
Yeah, we'll see if Austin Carr starts. But again, Keith Bradley is one we talked about, over there with Nazra. We'll be covering Nazra events on Thursdays. They're going to bring a midget series to life. We're going to be covering that one here on LSR TV. Definitely looking forward to it. Unfortunately, Keith didn't think he made it into the event, and he did. So unfortunate for him, he didn't think he made it in. But again, there's a lot of drivers that did not make this in. One of our own announcers, Brett Rolls, thought he made it in, or thought he did. He showed 5 drivers in, and by the time he refreshed, there were 60 in here. That is how fast. Again, less than a minute, you had 60 drivers in this lobby ready to go running practice laps. Again, you've got to have some really fast internet to get in one of these lobbies.
So final heat race before we get set to go for some 12-lap racing, with just one driver advancing to the feature from each of the consolation races. 3 B mains is what will be coming up next, right after heat race number 6. After this, we'll have 18 drivers locked into the 100-lap feature event, and that will leave just 3 more spots before we go green. 1 lap to green.
Yeah, 1 lap to go before that green flag drops. Again, after this, we will have 3 B mains, followed by a little bit of a warm-up, and then a 100-lap feature event. Definitely, that feature race is going to be a blast to watch, and I expect good racing, and I know we're going to get it based on how we've seen so far here in the heat races.
So, it is now once again in the hands of Hayden Cardwell in the 007 machine to lead them down to the green. He's off on the throttle very, very early, passes the pace truck as it enters pit road, and we are clean, and so far green. And not quite clean, though. The zero car getting turned around. Second caution of the night comes out. Another big mess in turn number 2. Sees Colton Malone hard into the outside wall from second place.
Yeah, we'll take a look here at the swag replay and see what happened. And again, your outside pole sitter in that that zero machine. We'll see. That is Colton Malone, and something went terribly wrong here. We'll see exactly what happened. He had a D1RT driver behind him in the number 1 machine, and just a slight tap right there, gets his back quarter panel, around he goes, and then everyone else just really nowhere to go. It's like 5 o'clock traffic having a wreck right in the middle of the freeway. There's just absolutely nowhere to go, as it looks like the Zero machine gonna go back up and potentially get a spot back. We'll see, as he is going to second place, so it looks like they're going to push him back just one row.
Yeah, he's right now sitting in exactly the third on track. It might be a bit confusing because we do, of course, have the field frozen and caution laps don't count. This is going to be a bit interesting, isn't it? Because he did get kind of run over by, I believe it was either Toter, might have been Austin Carr that ran over Malone. So it'll be interesting to see what race control says about this. It looks like they're giving him back some spots, but not all of them. So that's a bit of an interesting decision. Look at all the damage on the back end of that Zero machine. That is definitely going to be hurting the aerodynamics on that race car.
Yeah, it's definitely going to hurt it. We'll see just how much it does, as lights are still on the pace truck, so we're going to take one more lap. And sorry, I believe they just went off. Lights are off, so we will go racing this next time by the double or the Zero. I want to keep calling them the double Zero, as we're used to seeing double Zeros. There is a double Zero in here, James Ray, but this is just the Zero, the double Zero back towards the back of the field there. But green flag coming out this next time by for your final heat race. Again, 60 drivers filled this lobby in less than a minute, and we're going to narrow it down to, I believe, 20 to 24 drivers. I'll have to get race controls clarification on that when we get the chance, but either way, going to be a really good race with some really top-notch drivers.
And 3 wide, Colton Malone trying to find him on the outside. Behind them, Ethan Toter having to go at second place around Austin Carr. He's going to take that spot very easily off of turn number 2. Austin Carr going to try to maybe fight back here along the inside, go for the crossover. Just barely gets the nose in there down to the turn number 1. He's going to try to pull a big slide on Ethan Toter. Slide job from that number 12 machine. Ethan Toter side by side once again, thundering down the backstretch down to the turn number 3. It's going to be another slide in front of the 29 car, right up in front of Carr, and they're still side by side behind as well for 4th. That is why they have not been able to catch these guys.
Yeah, just laps ticking away here. Those battle for not really a transfer position. It is for transfer position, but not 3 and 4. It's 2 and 3, and they are just duking it out side by side. Neither one of them wanting to give an inch. Again, this will determine how far you start up in the feature race, so they want to start as high as they can. Right now it's Carr in second place, Toter right behind him, and they're still beating and banging, going 3 wide behind him as well. This battle far from over. Unfortunately, the Zero back there who was involved in that first wreck just cannot recover from that incident early on.
Yeah, he just got into the wall a little bit again off of turn number 4, so this is definitely not good for him. Ben Lewis having to fend off Derek Keltner, who's having to go up the inside. So Keltner doing a good job. Officially scores number 5, showing 0 on the car. So once again, that's what happens when you got duplicate numbers in here. To be exact, you actually have Colton Malone is actually also scored as a 0, but he's actually officially scored as a 31. So 2 0 cars in the same heat. I mean, you don't see that every day.
No, you definitely don't. Not without a letter behind it or something. 02 or 02, 0C, 0F, something. But what we're about to see is the white flag this time by, as right now it's Hayden Cardwell out front. He took the white flag. All he's got is about half a track to go as he goes down the backstretch this time. And we'll be moving on to B mains. Oh, and Cardwell into the outside wall. That is not going to bode well for him. Luckily, he had a big enough of a lead. It's not going to matter. He will hang on to it. It's going to be Cardwell, Carr, and Toter moving on to the A main. Everyone else, again, fixing to move on to the B mains here tonight.
Once again, another big photo finish for the 4th position. But again, those photo finishes, they're not going to get you into the feature event. So 14 drivers this time for the D main. Well, actually, technically B main number 1. The first consolation race. And only one of them advancing to the feature instead of 3.
Yes, this is going to get real interesting real quick here for B main number 1, as we'll pull the list up there on the side for you. It's going to be Hall, Yates, Matthews, Brown, Mattingly, Parsons, Heck, Bolton, Weeks, Briggs, Rowe, Styles, Curtis, and Hardy. Going to be your 14 drivers going to battle as hard as they can. This is for all or nothing. You know, this is like a last chance qualifier. One spot, the winner of this B main number 1, moving on to the feature race. Everyone else, well, they get to pack up and drink a cold beverage and get ready for next week.
So Dustin Hall in the double 31, 30. Let's say this is the 331 is going to be the one to lead them onto the green. 3 wide question mark on the with JD Brown on the outside there. That's a bit of an unusual one coming into 1 to green.
Yeah, you typically see that he's up there possibly trying to maybe roll in that top side just a little bit more. Maybe it wasn't to his liking, and he wanted to just, again, roll it in just a little bit more under pace laps. As we're about to see, you see he's leaving tracks in there, so that top side is not really, squished down too much, or whatever you want to call it. It's the fluff up there. It's not compacted in, so he tucks back in, you see, as they get ready to come down to the start. So we'll just have to wait and see how it all goes. Again, only one driver advancing to the A main from this. It's going to get wild and it's going to get crazy here for B main number 1.
Pace truck is off. A good jump there for Dustin Hall to try to secure himself a position at the back of the feature event tonight. 3 wide behind as all the drivers get set to rumble, and the 8 cars doing a fantastic job running out there out in front right now. JD Brown trying to struggle here. Look at Austin Matthews throwing a big slider there. That's going to collect Shane Gates, JD Brown. They're both going to go around. All 4 drivers caught up in this one. Bobby Mattingly is caught up involved. Hunter Parsons got a piece of that one, and just like that, Dustin Hall's fantastic jump is all but gone.
Yeah, we'll take a quick look here at the replay, see what happened as some cars got junked there pretty quick. And we got the drone camera out here tonight. We got clearance to fly it out here, so some skilled driving involved. You're about to see exactly what happened. Everyone checks up a little bit with the slide job, and that just causes a bit of a pile up. Some people get to the back fenders, and around go a couple of drivers, but a slide job made, checks up the field, and well, they all go for a little spin.
So the 311 machine, now Austin Matthews with that big slider. Bit of news from him. This is just coming in from race control, and if I'm hearing this right, he is being ruled at fault for the incident and might be forced to park it for the heat race or for the remainder of the night. So that might be an interesting one if that is indeed the case.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that is the case, as we'll just have to wait and see from race control. Again, race control doing a fantastic job as always. But again, everybody is trying to get where they're going, and they got one spot to go. And looks like, taking a look, as yes, the
extended yellow
in the pit. So the 3 of Austin Matthews being parked here for this race, and unfortunately, that is per the rules, for the series. So you get 2 cautions in the heats, and that. But once you get to the B mains, a caution, and you're parking it.
So a bit of an interesting call there for race control to put the car that threw the slider on the top bunch into the field. The official ruling was that the 311 threw a slider on the field. That caused a big checkup deep in the field, and that is why he was ruled at fault and why he has been told to park it for the night. So Austin Matthews, he is going to be going home early. Definitely not the way he wanted to finish off his race.
Yeah, he'll definitely be drinking some cold beverages after that one, and unfortunately, it's not going to be the champagne in victory lane tonight. But we'll see him back, I'm sure, in the coming weeks as the green flag is back out here for B main number 1, and it's Dustin Hall out front in the 331 machine. It's going to be Hunter Parsons behind him, and the battle is on for second place. But second place, really, unfortunately, is just the first loser here in the B mains, as you want to get that top spot. And they're going to battle everything they have to try to get to that top spot.
JD Brown up the inside now of the number 3 car. He's going to try to go 2 for 2 in the same corner, trying to get to third. Hunter Heck checks him up, though. JD Brown, he's down under fire from Bobby Mattingly. Mattingly down on the inside, trying to get around the pro driver of JD Brown. What can Brown make here in that number 36 machine? Scrolled officially on the car, number 14. Hunter Heck throwing a big slider. Everybody's starting to migrate to the top side of the racetrack, I'm starting to notice. So this is going to be a bit of an interesting one here as we see the top line started to come into play here. Bobby Mattingly definitely added a bit of a moment there, but look at Dustin Hall. His lead is shrinking in fast. Here comes Hunter Parsons up the inside, trying to go for it. Contest made for the race lead.
Yeah, they're going to make a little contact there, but man, somehow Dustin Hall in that 331 machine hangs on to the lead as he's got the 18 or 0 on the car for Parsons. Parsons right behind him, just scraping and clawing, trying to get up there in that butt kicker Sim Speed Shop number 0, but just again coming up a little bit short here so far.
So Hunter Parsons trying to get around the inside line now. Dustin Hall doing a really good run, and he is going to get the race, not quite get the race lead. Dustin Hall still doing a good job hanging on. Hunter Parsons trying to throw everything he has at him. He's going to have to pull one heck of a slider at this point right now, though, if he's going to have a hope of taking that race lead. We're 5 to go.
Yeah, 5 laps to go. That race lead is definitely under fire, up for grabs, but Dustin Hall has anything to say about it. He says, no, it's not up for grabs. It's mine. I'm going to take it. And notice here, Nolan, you're already starting to see this track starting to lay a little bit of black down on it. If you look right in the corners here, you can see it. It's not a whole lot. But again, this has just been the heat races in B main number 1. By the time that 100 laps is done, it's going to be a whole different track. And these guys that have been running 2nd and 3rd in the heats, we may see those guys move up a little bit. It really just depends on how they like the track, what they're good at running. As we are on lap 10 of 12, going to be 2 to go next time for Dustin Hall.
Hunter Parsons has got to try to find something else. Dustin Hall is taking a big slider line. Hunter Parsons trying more of the middle groove, but it really is not working out for him at all right now. Just can't close in, and Dustin Hall is still doing a great job at keeping things running out in front. Meanwhile, it's still a big battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That's really where it's close right now. We take the white flag. Dustin Hall gets set to lock himself into the feature event. Oh, loses quite a bit of time to turn 2. Here comes Parsons charging up down the back straightaway. Parsons glanced off the wall, though, off of turn number 2, and he's in the wall again, and that is going to be the nail in the coffin for Hunter Parsons. He's going to be going home. So is everyone behind him as Dustin Hall takes the victory in the first of 3 consolation races.
Yeah, 3 B mains, and Hall going to pick up the top one. That's 13 drivers, and unfortunately are packing it up and going home a little bit earlier than they anticipated. But Hall going to move on to the feature race. Again, some broken-hearted drivers here tonight in B main number 1. B main number 2 is getting set to come out onto the track, and they're taking to the grid quick here, Nolan.
That they are. James Grace is on the pole. Tanner Folds down in 2nd. Huey Quillen in 3rd. Hagen Sorensen 4th. Bryson Ramey in 5th. Cole Duggar 6th. Gary Peck 7th. Brody Oravets in 8th. Corey Sibley 9th, Austin Hunter 10th, BJ Duval 11th, Brad Dyer 12th, Brett Osborne 13th, and Ryan Dyson scheduled to start in the 14th position. Got a couple scratches, of course, in the lineup for this second consolation race. It looks like at the moment we've got all the way back to about 13th place on the grid, and Brett Osborne's backing up the car a bit interestingly, and he's going to get it rolling again. So maybe found the wrong gear.
Definitely might have found the wrong gear there. Is that no Brett? Again, mentioned him earlier. I know he knows how to go forward, and it looks like he's doing it now. So we'll see how he does. Unfortunately, going to be starting well back in this field. Right now is he's over there just maybe getting a little heat in the tires and heat in the engine, as these cars have not touched the track since their heat races. Look who else is mired back there. You got BJ Duvall. Our old LSR TV and World of Thunder driver mired well back here in the B main as well. So he's looking to work his way through, and If he doesn't make it through the B main, I'm still gonna support him, and I'm gonna still tell him that it was because of the blue rims and the pink car. It looks like a cotton candy car out there, and it just doesn't match.
Well, let's see if the cotton candy car can have a good go here and maybe pick up a consolation race win and lock us up into the feature event. For now, though, it's all in the hands of James Gray's pace truck. Going to lead them around turn 4 and pull it off to pit road. Grace holding the field a little bit here. Now we get to the loud pedal. We are green once again for B main race number 2. It's a big jump there for Grace. Meanwhile, though, the entire field slicing and dicing behind.
Yeah, they are slicing, dicing, and just chopping up this track. It's slowly but surely getting more and more worn out as we go. Again, this is not a C main, this is B main number 2. The top car transferring. It's James Grace right now, but here comes Tanner Folds. He slide drops, makes the pass, and contact between Sorensen and Grace. As those top 3, you could throw a blanket over them. They are just right there together. As Folds says, see you later, I'm going to check out and let 2nd and 3rd go to town.
Oh, not quite there. Hagen Sorensen just got cut off by James Grace at the exit of 4, so Grace is able to run him back down. Look at how close it gets to the back end of him in turn number 2. So James Grace nearly wiping out Tanner Folds. He's trying to find the outside line here. Folds is still running the bottom side. Folds still doing a good job at running the bottom side. At that, definitely sees something working down there. James Grace, well, trying to stuff it in. Gets all sorts of sideways, though, in turn number 2 and only ends up losing ground.
Yeah, he tried to stuff that like a Thanksgiving turkey, but unfortunately, he didn't prep that very well, and the stuffing just didn't stick. So he'll have to try it again one more time, as he's going to take to the high side. Well, really the middle side, but you look back to the 4 of Hugh back there. He is really taking it to the high side, and he's getting a run on the 45 of Sorensen all the way down to the bottom. Oh, and that's the problem with the high side. You see Huey just smacked that wall.
Yeah, definitely not good there for Quillen, who slapped the outside wall. He's going to go with the inside, though. Hagen Sorensen now down in the turn number 2. And Sorensen trying to go for the crossover. Definitely trying to defeat the slider there. Drag racing down the back straightaway. Hagen Sorensen. Now it's his turn to pull the slider on Quillen. Quillen going to fight back and to get him back on the inside line. And so far up front for the lead, it's still running 1-2 right now for James Grace, Tanner Folds. Nobody really side by side up there just yet. So still closest battle right now. And furthest one up front is for 3rd.
It is indeed 3rd place, the battle. Again, 3rd place, unfortunately, not really for anything. Although maybe a little bragging rights that you were next to going in, or close to 2nd to going into the A main. And this is, surprising to see some drivers back here like Grace, Sorensen, Dyer, Osborne, Duvall. These guys, seeing them back in a B main isn't necessarily something we see all the time. They're used to being able to at least make the A main, and they're not going to do it here tonight, it doesn't look like, as Tanner Folds is really checking out from this field there. You can see him right there as he's coming to start lap number 10. Again, 3 to go this time by for Folds, and he is really checked out from this field.
Yeah, this has been a good race for Tanner Folds. Took the race lead early on, and James Grace was not able to fight back. Huey Quillen to hit the outside wall again in turn 4 and lost out 3rd to Hagen Sorensen, and he's lost out 4th now to Colton Tucker. You see him there, that white and blue machine running now 5th place on the bottom side, though we are now 2 to go with Tanner Folds doing a fantastic job on trying to run the outside, the middle of the high line right about now. Not really pushing out to the wall, but definitely not sticking it right down by the berm either.
Yeah, he's not right up on it, but he'll probably be a little higher in the feature race as he comes to get the white flag. 1 lap to go here in B main number 2. And we'll only have one more B main left before we move on to your warm-up. And then, of course, your feature race. And that warm-up, Nolan, I'm going to look forward to it as we get to rest our voices for a minute. But right there, checker flag is out. And it's going to be Tanner Folds moving on to the A main. Everyone else, well, it's a nice facility here. They can go watch in the stands, grab them something to eat.
Yeah, definitely not the way a lot of these guys wanted to end it off the night, but still, we have got ourselves, it looks to be, another 13 drivers that are about to find their way going home early tonight.
That's definitely, like you said, not how they they expected the night to go. But again, when you're only taking 20 to 24 drivers to a feature and there's 60 in the lobby, that is unfortunately how it goes sometimes. Is your third and final B main rolling out onto the track. It's going to be Alberta, going to be on a pole in that number 22 machine, followed by Ray, Dixon, Bornhurst trying to get in there as well. Sheehan, Lewis, Powell, Keltner, English, Malone, Hardy, and it looks like after Deller, Hummerding, and Bradley going to be scratches here for tonight. They didn't make their heat, and they are not going to make it into the B main at number 3. So 12 drivers going to be on call here for the third and final B main. And of course, only one driver, as we've said, going to be advancing on to the A main. It's been a tough road for a lot of drivers here, Nolan, and it only gets tougher once you get to that 100-lap A main.
Third and final consolation race before a 5-minute warm-up and then a 100-lap feature race. Larry, the pace truck driver, leads him down the back straightaway. AJ Albreda going to be the driver to lead them around to the green flag. Will he be able to hold it, though? We saw the last heat race, P2 finisher started first, finished second, so we'll have to see if the case will be the same for Albreda. No doubt he's going to have some fierce competition with James Ray. Off of the throttle early before the pace truck can even really turn off of the track, and all of a sudden Albreda is out by a mile.
Yeah, and that's exactly.
Oh, crashing behind. Big wreck. The 53 machine. Sideways. James Sheehan stuck against the wall. Just got punted around and slammed the wall in turn number 2. No caution.
No cautions out. He has parked it into the trailers. They're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Now 3 wide for second. This battle is going. This is the best B main we've seen so far starting out as they're side by side for the lead. That's the biggest battle we've had for the lead so far in any race for that matter, as right now it's Ray and Alberta. Those two are just duking it out side by side in the battle for third place between Dixon and Bornhurst going on as well. And, I keep looking back here. I believe that's the 17 on the car. And I believe it's Chase Hardy in the 049. That may not be his actual number, but either way, the 17. No, and every time I see that, I keep thinking I need to see some Reese's Pieces on there. By the way, Techno is a RC brand. I use it myself to race RC cars, so a very good brand. But I keep thinking Reese's Pieces every time I see that car.
James Reyes lost the lead. It was put into the wall last time by on the front straightaway by A.G. Albreda. Really just pinched him in there, and the 39 machine is off and away. Well, really scored the 22 on the car, so he's off and into the race lead now. Ray trying to fight back, but he's got a significant damage on the right rear of the 00 machine, so that is definitely hurting that race car. So he's got Chase Hardy's inside now, and that right now, that is exactly what A.J. Albreda wants to see.
Yeah, AJ Alberta definitely wants to see these guys duke it out. Chase Hardy there side by side. Again, even though they're battling really hard, the lead really hasn't taken off like I expected it would be due. There he's got a nice sizable little gap, but right here you'll see that 49 of Hardy, he just really closes in the gap, but it's just not quite enough. As you see right here, he's on the roll bar. He's right there, going to try to take it to the inside. As the lights are flashing, it just can't quite get to him. He gives him a shot right there, though.
Hardy not wanting to hang around. Up on the berm, though. Albreda gets him out of shape. They're both out of shape. And look at this. Sorry, here goes Bornhurst. Bornhurst gets split going into turn number 3. I'm about to lose my will to speak English here. Getting put on the outside wall. Albreda's race is over. Caution surely has to come out as he's up in the air. No yellow flag. Are you kidding me? James Ray's trying to get out of Trace Hardy, and now the caution flies.
We'll go back and take a look as the caution flag does finally wave. And look at this battle going on right here. These guys are not done. They are not quite happy. And we'll see how it all unfolded. And you'll see right here the 22, the 17, and the 49, all three just, beating and banging. none of them really wanted to go home. We'll take one more look here at the drone camera, and you'll see right there was the shot. The 49 to the 22 pushes him up. The 22 not happy about that, gives him a shot back, gets him loose. He slides up, hits the wall. The 17 comes in. The 22 bumps him because he was already out of shape. They go 3 wide, and right there they all tango. And, well, really none of them made it through except for the 49.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think John Bordenhurst really did anything wrong. I mean, you see 2 cars out of shape in front of you. What are you going to do, right? I mean, you are going to want to go up there, just get in the, we are getting the official, I guess, condemnation for race control. We're about to see what's going to take place here. Race director BJ Duval right now reviewing the incident. And they have called it a racing deal, and nobody's going to be ejected from the B main.
Yeah, it's one of those deals, you know, you saw the 49 of Hardy beating and banging, and you saw the 22, also the 39 in the scoring loop of AJ Alberta. Those 2 were beating and banging. One gave a shot to the other one repaid the favor. You know, at that point, you know, it's kind of like null and void. You gave me a rough shot, I gave you one. You returned the favor. The deed is done. I mean, at that point, and unfortunately, the 17 of Bordenhurst, again, no fault to him. He saw an opening, and he stuck it in, tried to make it work. And, he did for the most part. And unfortunately, he just got caught up in it after those 2 were beating and banging. So it's unfortunate for him. He's going to have to fall all the way back to 4th place. Green flag back in the air. As Chase Hardy in the 49 still your race leader.
James Ray pushed real wide in turn 2. That is going to lose him a lot of time. 1 car sliding behind. Colton Malone has just spun, and that's going to bring out the yellow flag for the 2nd time today. He just ran over the 17 car of John Bordenhurst. Bordenhurst was slow with a lot of front end damage, and Malone just never managed to really catch the car. We'll take a look here on the replay. This was just across the start finish line. The wreck happened off turn 2, and there, well, I hate to say it, but well, you can see for yourself.
Yeah, just got right into his back bumper, and it almost looks like there that the 0 of Malone got into the back bumper of Bordenhurst, and it should, in order to not dump him, maybe locked it up and ended up dumping himself instead. So, these cars depend a lot on speed. So yeah, it looked like to me maybe. The 0 was going to get into the back, or he did get into the back of the 17. Didn't want to spin him, so checked himself up after he did, and just ended up spinning himself out instead of the 17. So if that is the case, a class act from the 0 there to do what he had to do, unfortunately costing himself his own race, to save the race for another driver.
I would say, at the end of the day, you kind of have to put that one on Malone. I mean, while the 17 is off the pace, yes, I will give him that. He wasn't like he just slid across his nose. He was on the outside line for some time, and Malone did have quite a bit of time to at least slow the car down to not run him over. So obviously, Colton Malone's race is done. He is in the pits right now, so. He is likely going to be, he's likely not going to be able to do much tonight. He's going to be ending his night early. Pace truck once again getting set to lead them off. About 12 cars started this race. We only have 6 remaining. 2 laps to go here at B main number 3.
Yeah, B main number 3 again. We'll take a short little break there, and for station identification and a hydration break, as I like to refer to him as Hardy out front in the 49 machine. It's going to be James Ray behind him in that 00. Does Ray have anything for Chase Hardy here in this final B main? That's really the question, Nolan.
Coming to the white flag, Chase Hardy. He's got the position settled right now, unless James Ray can really throw something absolutely spectacular here into the final corner. He's going to have nothing for him, but he gets onto the berm and unsettles that 00 machine. Not what James Ray needed. Chase Hardy going to be well and truly clean through turn number 4. Chase Hardy is going to punch his way through into the feature event, and all the other drivers behind, they are going to be going home early.
Yeah, again, you do the math there, 13, 13, and 13. That is sending home well, 39
39
drivers. So a lot of drivers not making it here tonight. That is definitely unfortunate for a lot of drivers, but we're going to step away here for just a couple of minutes, get hydrated, and get ready for 100 lap feature main event. We'll be right back here with your ComServe Wireless starting grid in just under 5 minutes.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing. We'll do any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized, we'll do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything, hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold, to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customer and stuff. So you just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing, and if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink color. Everything is hand drawn. Everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, T-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. It's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum, requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees@yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com. We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting B main there for the third one of the night, but that all aside, of course, it is time for your ComServe Wireless starting grid. Row 1 is going to be a packed house as well. You've got Kendall Tucker in the 19 along with the 14 of Alex Bergeron. Row 2 is going to be the 46 of Nick Cooper and the 15 of Ryan Flatten. Row 3 is going to be Dylan Hauser in that 2 machine and the 07 of Hayden Cardwell. Row 4 is going to be the 35 of Blake Cannon, and that is the 007 of Jacob Fields. And rounding out row 5, in your top 10 drivers as the fireworks go off, that is going to be the 1 of Matthew Logan and the 58 of Davin Cardwell as we hand it over to Nolan.
Row number 6 is going to be John Ruggiero Jr., Austin Carr in the 12th position. Row 7 is going to be Alex Payne and Ryder Cantillo. Row 8 is going to be Trevor Fitz and Craig Schwartz. Row 9, Blake Murray and Ethan Toder. Row 10, Dustin Hall and Tanner Folds. And all is lonesome on row number 11 is the 049 car of Chase Hardy.
And not sure what happened to the grid there. It disappeared on us. But either way, you hear the grid. You see the fireworks going off. The pace truck leading these guys around. Again, it's going to be a great night of racing. Here's the fireworks still going off on the back stretch. I hear just a little bit, but they are going to be done. And Nolan, it may be a dirt track, but we're ready to sling a little dirt, and we have the static cams here at this just amazing facility, which means we get to go and sling a little dirt here as they are getting ready, and they're going to take the green flag as we go sling a little dirt and we crank them up. All right, and everybody loves the crank it up. Well, at least I think everybody does. I absolutely love it. I don't know about you, Nolan, but I absolutely love watching these cars go around full speed. All the horsepower that they put down here is right now. It is Tucker out front, Bergeron, Cooper, Flatten, and Hauser. Your top 5, even include Cannon and Cardwell Fields. Your top 7 or 8 drivers, man. That is a packed and stacked top 10 right now.
Right now, the first side-by-side battle on the track is between Ryan Flatten and Dylan Hauser for the 4th position right now. They're still side-by-side. They've been side-by-side since the drop of the green flag, and they're right now in turns 3 and 4, coming to the close of lap number 5. 95 laps left remaining, as Hauser still trying to find the inside line, really riding that berm. But so far, Ryan Flatten has been doing a fantastic job at running the top side.
Yeah, he is running the top side, and we knew people are going to start running it at some point during this race. We just didn't know how long it would take him to do it, as he is doing just that. Hauser on the bottom side in 5th place, trying to make something happen on him, but just can't quite make the pass stick. Again, he may be using that Elmer's glue to make that pass stick. Maybe he should try some of that Gorilla Glue. It might work just a little bit better, as he is trying to make it stick. And again, not quite working. Is right there at the line. It is still going to be flattened, but here comes Hauser still to the inside. Maybe getting a little bit of push there from Blake Cannon, the 44. That might give him a little bit of a boost that he needs.
Might give it that a little bit of boost indeed. It's been a very, very clean start to this 100-lap feature as well as we continue to watch this side-by-side battle for fourth. They've been side-by-side now for almost 10% of the race distance ever since the drop of that green flag. And I do find this interesting here because Ryan Flatten is really doing a good job at pulling the outside line on the exits. And the reason why this is crucial is because the start-finish line is at the end of the start-finish straight, close to turn number 1, not closer to turn 4 like we see on some other tracks. So that's very crucial there if Flatten can really make that outside line work.
Yeah, the flag stand here, like you said, is a really odd spot compared to some tracks. We'll zoom out here a little bit if we can, and you'll see right here, and there's the flag stand. So it really is a different spot there. So it really is working out to his advantage. And while those guys are battling, these guys not so much. But I do expect to see somewhat of a battle going on between these front three here, between Cooper, Bergeron, and Tucker. Right now, third, second, and first. Those are some very, very skilled drivers. And, of course, all three of them are running your Black Stripes here World Championship drivers. So you really, really expect them to do good. They're doing good here tonight, but go further back in this field and a little further back, you'll see these guys, they may not be pros, but they're doing just as good a job going 3 wide, and we are still caution-free on lap 13.
And looks at the battle we're taking a look at right about now is, I think that's Trevor Fitz, is it, that we're looking right now into turn number 3. He's fighting out with Dustin Hall and Ethan Toder. It's a big gaggle of cars here. Everybody's really trying to run 3 wide. Another 3 wide gaggle up front has John Ruggiero Jr. continuing to move up spots. Matthew Logan is just loosened out now on the top 10. Alex Payne in the mix of this one as well. So is Austin Carr. Those 4 cars all under a blanket.
Yeah, these guys are not giving up. They're getting a little bit spread out. That's going to contribute to some of the cautions not coming out. We may possibly, knock on some wood, see this thing go a huge green flag run. And I know for a fact they had to add some fuel to the engine to the tank to keep that engine running throughout this race. And if we go long green flag run, I know at one point there was talk of throwing a competition caution at the halfway point so these guys could run around. They were actually go and take the green and pace for a lap or two, because unfortunately fuel does not dissipate from dirt cars for caution, and they may not need it as the caution's out. And it's Trevor Fitz going into the outside wall. The question is, did he have any help to get himself put there?
I'm looking at it now, and I don't think he did. I think this is a really weird spin. Oh, never mind. He did have contact on the front straightaway. We'll take a look at this one here. He was fighting out with Tanner Folds, and they made contact middle of the front straightaway, and that sent Trevor Fitz into the outside wall. So they're just on the front straightaway now. Watch that white and blue car come up. Durham going into 1, and there you see Fitz go around and tag the outside wall, ramp up on 2 wheels. Very lucky, though, to not tip that car over.
Yeah, he used every bit of skill he had to not tip it over, and it looks like admins have given the penalty accordingly. Tanner Folds going to be taking that 15 machine to the back, as he'll be back there with Trevor Fitz, as that's where he ended up after the caution. But Tanner Folds being credited with the caution here, and duly he did bump him there and get him around. Again, probably nothing intentional or malicious, just got into him.
It's a bit of an awkward situation when you end up getting him put within your well. You ended up getting right behind the guy that you that you bumped trying to pass. So a bit of tension back there maybe in the field on the restart. We'll have to see.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Trevor Fitz would pay the favor back, but good news for Tanner Folds is that he's behind Trevor Fitz.
Yeah.
You definitely would not want to be in front of him. That would probably be an unsafe place for anyone's back bumper on a dirt racetrack, whether it's real or virtual. Being in front of the person you just spun out. The Kenny Rogers themes song there, Danger Zone, comes to mind.
So, the pace truck driver, the official iRacing pace truck, going to take them through 3 and 4 once more. And it is going to make the jump to pit lane as we watch Kendall Tucker get ready to lead into the green. Can Alex Bergeron maybe get the drop on him? This time on the restart, looks like, in fact, not quite there. Tucker is well clear into turn number 1, 3, 4 wide. Fanning out behind him, though. Bergeron running to the top side as he's trying to find some speed.
Yeah, these guys are 3-4 wide. It is just absolute chaos. Controlled chaos, that is, up here at the front of the field as we're going to try to go 3 wide again. We do. Going right there, and we got one hitting the burn there.
Yeah, make it 4 as you saw one car really holding that bottom side. That was Dylan Hauser that was running the bottom side. So they're going to go 4 wide again, almost 5 into turn number 3, trying to go for any kind of spots that you can on the restart. Bergeron much closer this time, though, trying to have a go at Kendall Tucker around the outside. We'll have to see if he can make this one stick. Not quite there, though. So far, Tucker's been doing a fantastic job on running that bottom line, despite that being where a lot of the grip is not right now.
Yeah, there is not a lot of grip there. We'll see how it all goes. And we got some cars sliding around towards the back as Trevor Fitz, I believe, is going to lose a couple more spots there. But overall, some good racing so far.
Keep eyes on that front grouping because they're going 3 wide per second again. Alex Bergeron is finding more and more speed on the top side. He's side by side with Tucker off of turn number 4. We could see a pass for the lead here if Bergeron can make this stick through turn number 1 and 2. He's running the top side perfectly right up against the guardrail and side by side down the backstretch. Post the nose at that time by. Bergeron's trying to go for the race lead and he might get it done here in a couple laps.
Yeah, Alex Bergeron, he has set his sails and he has set his eyes on Kendall Tucker. Again, he's running the high side, and it looks like Flatten's going to run it with him as they are going to start that train up on the high side. Again, Kendall Tucker, not so much. He said, no, I don't think that high side's where it needs to be. And Kendall Tucker's holding them off for the moment, but for how much longer as they go side by side once again for the lead. And then you'll see a different view. Kendall Tucker down at the bottom, and there's that run that Alex Bergeron has. The 15 of Ryan Flatten has a run as well, and they may get him here at the line.
Well, officially last time by, Bergeron actually led this lap last time by at the line, so officially we did have a lead change on the last time by. Had another one here today, so Alex Bergeron has led 2 laps now officially on the table. And we are now coming up to 75 laps to go. The first quarter of the race coming to a close this time by. Bergeron still doing a fantastic job running the high line. Tucker doing a great job running the inside line. Neither driver willing to yield at all. And one car in the downside, one car sliding in forward. Got a couple cars scrambling in the back, and that is Ryder Cantillo right now that's scrambling in the background. He's just managed to get himself sorted. Devin Cardwell is the driver that got really sideways. He almost wrecked. Good thing, though, is that they managed to keep it straight and green.
Yeah, clean and green. Well, semi-clean and green.
Yeah.
There's definitely some sheet metal that's going to have to be repaired on some of these cars, like the 13 of Ryder Cantillo, as he will definitely be repairing some sheet metal on that car. And meanwhile, that battle for the lead still underway. They are side by side coming to the line. But this time it's going to be Kendall Tucker that has the edge on the bottom. You have to ask yourself here, knowing what is the preferred line here, bottom, top, or is it the middle? Is someone going to squeeze through the middle on these guys and take the win? We got 2 up top, 2 down bottom, as they're 2 by 2 going for the front 4.
It really does, matter quite a bit on driver preference. I mean, if you feel like you're going to be better running the top, then absolutely run the top. If you feel you're faster on the bottom, then run the bottom. It does come down to driver preference a lot of the times, because when you have a fixed setup like this, it can really go both ways. If you feel like you're safe for running the middle, run the middle. But right now, not a lot of people are wanting to do that, because if you try to run the middle groove, you end up getting shoved out to the top side anyway. Bergeron leads the last lap by, so that's about, the 3rd, 4th lead change now over the race?
Yeah, I believe so, about the 4th lead change total as those guys duke it out. There's a battle going on back here. Hauser, Cooper, Fields all putting on a battle as well for right now. That is 5th, 6th, and 7th. Those are going to be 3 wide coming to the line.
3 wide to the line indeed. Doing a good job right there. Hauser up top, Fields on bottom, Nick Cooper in the middle groove. Meanwhile, up front, Alex Bergeron is well cleared now of Kendall Tucker, who's now under fire from Hayden Cardwell. I believe that is just behind him, running down in that third position. So Kendall Tucker might be losing quite a bit of speed here in that number 19.
You're going to have to see Kendall Tucker move to the high side. The setup, he may like it the way it feels down at the bottom, but it's just not working down there for him at all right now. He's going to have to migrate up to the north here, at least, 2 lanes or so, I think, to try to make something happen. As you see right there, he goes and gets that berm just a little bit, and you see just how much Alex Bergeron just says, I'm checking out, see you later, and just drives off that corner and pulls away. And see if we can't get a drone shot from it and see if you can get a better view. And right there you'll see just how much he drives off the corner, and it just looks like the 00 on the bottom is just bogging down and not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere indeed, and he is going to actually lose out here to Hayden Cardwell officially. So Kendall Tucker down to third now. So Tucker is starting to struggle quite a bit. Like you said, Bergeron is checked out. Bergeron's actually using the guardrail right now to his advantage, actually just barely brushing the right rear quarter against it just about every single corner to keep that corner speed up. He's doing a fantastic job running that car, and this comes from Bergeron's sprint car skills. I believe he's quite a big sprint car guy, more so than the late models, and he does this so frequently in the World of Outlaws Sprint Car World Championship, the NOS Energy Drink World Championship there. So he is definitely using those skills today as he once again just barely grazes that guardrail to get the speed going.
Yeah, he's doing that. Meanwhile, back here, these guys, they're slightly making that right rear. Of course, it's not off the wall. It's on each other, as we are now 36 laps down. Working lap 37. We'll be coming up on the halfway point here very soon. Only 1 caution in this race, and only 3 cautions total in tonight's racing event. 3 or 4, actually might have been 4, but either way, just a handful of cautions out of the heats, the B mains, and this 100 lap event so far. These guys are putting on a heck of a show here for the season opener for UpperEdge Racing.
They certainly are. Dylan Hauser, he's going to finally manage to get his way past Austin Carr. He did lose out as well to Blake Cannon, so Hauser doing a good job. Meanwhile, Alex Payne trying to throw his way up the inside of Austin Carr behind them. So that's the side-by-side battle for the 9th position on the track right now, I believe, as we watch Payne trying to run the bottom side. Austin Carr trying to pinch him right down against the berm. Not really working for a car, though, as Austin Payne, time after time again, finding his way on the inside. Coming to 60 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, dare I say that 70 is being a pain in the car for Austin Carr. Yeah, that was a cheesy joke. But either way, Alex Payne right there with Austin Carr just can't quite get by him. So I'm going to go 3 wide one more time. As that time it's going to be Hauser moving ahead. Again, the battles are intense here, and these guys are doing it cleanly. Look how close they are coming out of turn 4. Again, they are putting on a heck of a show, and a clean and green show at that. But just ahead, we do have some beating banging going on. That is Swindell Speed Labs, and I believe that is D1RT. Yes, it is. Jacob Fields and Blake Cannon, and no love lost between those two possibly.
No, probably not. So that's going to throw them back into the clutches now. Dylan Hauser, who is running the top line now, trying to find a way up there. They are literally just feet up the road from this battle just behind them. Austin Carr now all over the back end of Blake Cannon. And look at Hauser getting into the outside wall, actually a bit down the back straightaway. So he's got damage out on that right rear fender for Hauser in that number 2 machine. So not good for Hauser. Oh, gets close to Carr. Carr really pinched him into the wall that time around. Bit of a naughty move there from the number 12 machine to pinch Hauser into the wall on the front straightaway.
Yeah, and they're going to go 3 wide, almost 3 wide anyway. Oh, Phil's giving a shot to Blake Cannon. He said, I may not like that too much. I'm going to give you a shot here. It does end up costing him 2 spots there as he has to slow just a little bit. But, you're seeing a little bit of aggression, Nolan. These guys are giving a little bit of shots in the short to each other, but they're not doing it to where they're wrecking the field. So, I'm quite impressed with how they're doing it cleanly.
It's actually been a remarkably clean race. I remember the last race, the last 100-lap race I did was at the dirt track at Charlotte, and that race, well, let's just say it could have gone a little bit better. So this is really the closest battle we got on the track right now. This big gaggle of cars right here, nothing going on really within the top 5. They're all single filed out and pretty much spread out from each other. So it's a really good run here. We're watching Dylan Hauser now and Alex Payne still do battling side by side for the 9th position.
Yeah, we've been on air here about a little over an hour and a half, and half this race roughly left to go here in the feature. Again, we've completed 6 heat races, qualifying, and 3 B mains in just over an hour and a half, and we're halfway through the A main on top of that as we're going 3 wide for this battle. Again, the lead is pretty much checked out. Alex Bergeron, Hayden Cardwell, Kendall Tucker, Nick Cooper, those guys really checking out from the field. Blake Cannon, that's why we're back here. These guys may not be up at the front, but they're the ones putting the show for you here tonight, and that's what we're going to cover is, where the show is. That's what the fans want to see.
Flatten going up to the top line now, seeing if he can maybe find some speed around the outside line. Jacob Fields is trying to fend off both lines. Oh, Flatten gets a bit over correcting there on the front straightaway. That is going to open the door for Dylan Hauser, who's going to throw it in up the inside, down the back straightaway. But look at the run that Flatten can just get on the top line. The inside line is really going away now. You can see how slick it is on the bottom side of the track there right now, and that's definitely why it's so difficult. We take a ride on board with Hauser. My, oh my, I did not think I could see a more beautiful onboard camper than this.
Yes, definitely. We love the onboard camera. You can see the dirt and grime building up with the car. You can see the dust flying in the air. And I told you, Nolan, earlier, and all the fans, this track would slick off. It would get black. And it has done just that. And look how just worn out this track is. Good job to the race officials on choosing not to reset this. When a track gets like this, Nolan, while they're not laying down any rubber, it does get a little slick. And when you see the track slick off like this and it gets a little tough, it really becomes a driver's track. You can't just throw it in there all craziness style when it's tacky and wet and know it's going to stick. You really have to use the throttle and control the car. I love it when this track gets like this because, again, it brings it home to the drivers, and those drivers that are good, they prevail and go to the front.
And so we've seen drivers like Cardwell, Tucker, and Bergeron do. They've managed to really use this track to their advantage right now. As you can see, Bergeron right now just up front there. He's still battling for the race lead with Hayden Cardwell now. The gap is closed by several tenths, actually over a quarter second on just the last couple laps alone. They're actually approaching a lap car just over the road of Tanner Folds. This might get interesting here as Alex Bergeron riding the wall. Tanner Folds tried to do the same just up front, not so much to the end of it, getting stuck against the wall. Cardwell, he's the driver right now running the bottom.
Yeah, and we'll see if they, if possibly, can Hayden Cardwell, who we haven't seen race in a while here on the LSR TV channel, driving that 07 machine, a white and pink car. Usually used to be green last time we saw him, but you mentioned it, Bergeron coming up with the lap cars and a almost slide job there. Will Hayden Cardwell use that lap car to his advantage? And it's probably going to be, yes, that's going to be Tanner Folds that they're catching right there. Will he use him to his advantage as a pick and try to take the lead away here from Alex Bergeron as he's going to try a slide job one more time and can't complete it?
Cardwell is really taking a slider line here, which means he really throws it into the bottom, and then the car just pushes up to the top line, and now they have caught Tanner Folds, who's already slowing up in an attempt to try to let Bergeron through on the straights. This might be bad for Cardwell, though, because Cardwell likes to run the bottom side here. This might get close as they both try to go around the lap car on the outside. They might go 3 wide for a moment. They are not going to go 3 wide. Just like that, Tanner Folds one a lap down. Here comes Cardwell trying to throw the slider once more. Just cannot find the momentum on the bottom anymore. Any speed you had down there on the exit, it's all gone.
Yeah, and I want to point out here, too, is that we're looking for the slide job right there. Still just not able to complete it. Tanner Folds, other than Trevor Fitz, who is multiple laps down out of the race, who is contact definitely there, lots of it. Only 2 drivers out of this 21 car field that are a lap or more down on lap 60. We just had the leaders lap, our first car that is not out of this race, 60 laps into it, as we have right now 40 laps to go.
40 laps to go, and the battle for the race lead is certainly on. Alex Bergeron has led a good portion of this race. The other big portion has been led by our man in the 3rd position right now of Kendall Tucker. That might be under fire here, though, as now there's a bit of a swap in hands. Now it's Cardwell trying to maybe the top line at 1 and 2. That didn't quite work out for him, as Bergeron now trying to defend his position on the low line. Saw that Cardwell was coming, and he's trying to see if he can find the same speed that Cardwell has.
Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder here is we thought, the top side is where they would go eventually. Oh,
he's going to dump him. Oh, boy.
He gets to him. He gets him again. Another shot, and that is definitely going to send a message. And I don't think Alex Bergeron liked that message too much. We'll see if there's a little.
There's more. Put him into the wall that time down the front straightaway. So it's a battle for the lead now. That mess allowed actually Kendall Tucker to close up on in for the second position. More contact from Bergeron to Cardwell's door down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Bergeron certainly not terribly happy with Cardwell right now over that move, really trying to pinch him up there to cut off his momentum. Cardwell doing a fantastic job though of running that top line and trying to get himself settled here on and get himself a race win. Should note that right now in the top 5, only Cardwell and Blake Cannon do not have pro licenses.
Yeah, this is getting hot and heavy under here, and I can promise you it may be hot and heavy, but these two are they are not loving it right now, either one of them, as the only one that is going to be Kendall Tucker, as he's sitting back saying, all right, boys, y'all want to get a little aggressive and, you want to beat and bang? Go for it. I'm right here. 35 laps to go, 34 at the line. Kendall Tucker looking to capitalize off of Bergeron and Hayden Cardwell, getting together and having a little slip up there, but I don't know if it's going to happen. That damage may slow Bergeron down just a little bit as Hayden Cardwell checks on out and moves to about a 3, almost 4/10 second lead.
So definitely a good run there for Hayden Cardwell. Somehow made the pass work. Alex Bergeron's got his work cut out for him, but Bergeron is right now still having to cover the inside line away from Kendall Tucker because he's trying to prevent a big slider because he knows if he goes back to the top side, Tucker's just going to throw it in there and cut across his nose, and that is going to kill his momentum here. He's trying to do everything he can right now to keep that momentum up so we can try to run back down to Hayden Cardwell. The problem is, for the past couple of laps, Alex Bergeron's been about a 10th or so slower, and he's now about half a second off of Hayden Cardwell up the road.
Yeah, he is definitely, and you can see how beat up that car is, and a lot of that's on the back of it, where he's going to get a lot of damage is unneeded. He doesn't want it back there. Of course, you don't want it anywhere, but you definitely don't want it on the back there on that little spoiler. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see how it does play out, but this may, again, work out for Tucker, like we said. And I thought we had somebody losing some speed, but no, we're staying green here. 30 laps to go that time by. Only 30 laps to go if Hayden Cardwell wants to try to put this thing in victory lane.
Cardwell's catching lap traffic as well. He's got Chase Hardy just up from him and Ryder Cantillo not far out the road as well. So once again, lap traffic could play into a factor here. Cardwell now going to try to go around the outside of Chase Hardy in that number 049. So I'll have to see if he's going to make that work. Bergeron still defending hard against Kendall Tucker. Tucker really riding the berm right now as well on the bottom side where you see the slicked off dirt really coming in. And now look at this. Tucker up the inside is going to go for second place on Bergeron. And they're side by side for the second and third podium positions, and Bergeron loses out on second as well.
Yeah, and you sit here and watch this racing. It's been great. But one caution out of this entire race, I feel a little bad here, Nolan. We charge all these great fans full admission, and they've only used maybe the edge of their seat, and maybe none of it if they're standing up watching this race. I feel really bad for them. I know I'm not in my chair, so I may get my refund on the admission price. But what a battle! Is in one caution, I believe, Nolan, in the entire portion of this 100-lap race with 26 laps to go. We've already nearly completed 3/4. Actually, we have completed 3/4 of this 100-lap race.
And that first caution was all the way back on lap number 16 when that came out. So this has been a very, very long race for sure. I think right now, Alex Bergeron is actually hoping for another caution, because that is really going to stack the field back up. He is going to be able to get himself right back up there. Carwell's gap will be gone. So he is right now wanting another caution.
Yeah, that damage is definitely slowing him down, and he's falling backwards. He needs a caution. And I say that, does he want a caution? He may or may not want it, because, these guys are slowly catching him and able to get by him. If we stack this field back up, and that car doesn't get going, he's going to have all those cars, currently sitting in third. He would have fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth all right there bunched up together that could easily get by him. So, he may not want this caution to come out. He may just want to keep it green, so it makes it harder for those guys. Because you look, Blake Cannon, 6/10 back from him, so he may want to keep that distance that he can.
Ryder Cantillo has brought his machine down to pit road. He might be calling the 9, and in fact he is. Cantillo loading his machine up onto the hauler. No wreck for Cantillo. Just decided he had enough. He was already a lap down. Didn't see the point in continuing to run. Alex Bergeron, meanwhile, at risk of losing the final podium position as Nick Cooper trying to find his way up the inside now. So we're coming up to 21 laps to go. We are at 21 laps to go now. Going to be 20 to go this time by the line. So just a fifth of the race remaining. Bergeron gets pushed up the track as Nick Cooper trying to maybe find his way up the inside.
Yeah, they are duking it out, and we haven't talked about it. We haven't had a chance to, but while we watch this battle, I do want to quickly mention, that, of course, I know people are still signing up. There's very limited spots left for the Power Eye Midget Eye Nationals. So, if you want to see more good racing like this, and you want to be in the racing, make sure you check it out. Power Eye Midget Eye Nationals on Facebook. We'll get you the link to go register for that event. Get your entry fee in. If you don't want to enter in it, but you want to watch it, you can watch it right here on the LSR TV YouTube and Facebook page, as well as Power Eye TV and Power Eye Facebook. It's going to be all over the place. We'll see where else it ends up going, but you're going to see racing just like this as you're watching Nick Cooper try to run down Alex Bergeron, and maybe Alex Bergeron has stepped it up just a little bit. We'll see, but he definitely is hoping so, because he's got Blake Cannon right there as well in the 44 trying to hunt him down, as Cardwell still leading with a 1.366 second lead.
Under 20 laps to go now, coming to 16 this time by the line. Your leader right now entered turn number 3. Second place just entered turn 3 behind, and there goes Alex Bergeron and Nick Cooper as well. Not a lot of battling going on now throughout the field. A good portion of the field is really single filed out and spread out, as a matter of fact. In fact, the closest gaggle of cars right now is 3rd through 5th right now, with Blake Cannon, Nick Cooper, and Alex Bergeron. So this definitely has split up, and I honestly can't see us getting another yellow flag here unless something really silly happens, potentially with lap traffic.
Yeah, it's either going to be lap traffic or this battle right here that we're watching. As again, I talked about it a little bit earlier on in the race. These guys, you see some of them further back in the field. They start working their way through the field. The more this track gets slicked off, the more it comes into their wheelhouse. You're going to see those drivers work their way to the front. That happened exactly how I figured it would here tonight. The track is more gummy or sticky and wet, and those drivers do okay. but they're really good on a track that's, slicked off and doesn't have a whole lot of grip in it. That's when they shine. They come to the front. So those drivers you saw up front earlier are still there, but they have swapped position a little bit. And, of course, some of that, Nolan, was due to contact between Alex Bergeron and Hayden Cardwell. And something tells me those two might not be sending Christmas cards to each other here in, about 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely not. It's this will be a bit interesting there for him, won't it? If the Christmas cards end up being a mandatory thing, which I'm pretty sure he's hoping is not going to be a mandatory thing at the moment. So, well, I will say this has been a very, very clean race so far, if not the most thrilling at times. But I'll tell you what, Alex Bergeron might have a fight here with Nick Cooper, because we're coming up now. 11 laps to go. It's going to be 10 next time by at the line. Nick Cooper, if he's going to go for that podium position, he's going to have to make it now.
Yeah, he needs to get by. Is Alex Bergeron damaged car or not? He's able to hold on to it, and I don't know if you've seen this clip that's out there on the internet, but I've seen it many, many times. I know a lot of our race fans out there have probably seen it. There was a race, and I compare this to Bergeron when he gets behind the wheel. Kyle Larson was battling for the lead, hit one of his best buddies on the racetrack. They're good friends. They got together. He blew his right rear, I believe it was, and literally hobbled it to victory lane, crossing the line. And I believe it may have been the Trophy Cup that he did it in, and managed to pull out the win. That's how I see Bergeron a lot of the times. He's beaten and battered, but somehow he manages to keep hanging on and keep trugging and get a top 3 finish. So it'd be interesting to talk to him and see how that car was handling and how much of a handful it was, especially with Nick Cooper and Blake Cannon right on his heels.
Yeah, right now Bergeron certainly has his hands full trying to fend off the 4th and 5th place drivers behind him. One of them a pro driver and a fellow, world championship contender. Blake Cannon, not so much. Oh, caution flags out. This changes everything. It's Austin Carr from 8th position that has lost it on his own after contact with Alex Payne. So yellow flag with under 10 to go. This race has just been blown wide open.
Yeah, this definitely changes things, as only the second caution of the race with 7 to go. We're going to be 6 when they take the green. And right there, just a little contact with the 70. He just gives him a shove, basically. It makes you wonder if he was a little bit faster and just had enough of it and just gave him a shove there. And unfortunate for Carr, as he's going to be pushed to the back now because of that. The question is, are we going to see the 70 of Alex Payne go back there with him?
This really helps out Alex Bergeron, because he might be able to throw one heck of a bonsai move here on Hayden Cardwell to go for the race. Sorry, on Kendall Tucker to go for the race lead. So this is going to be most intriguing here.
Yeah, definitely the word of the day right there, intriguing. That is what this is going to be. As, it's been an amazing race so far. Again, 2 cautions in the heats. 2 cautions so far in this 100-lap feature. And, Nolan, the first one came on, lap 7? The second one coming on 7 to go.
And Alex Payne being given the end-of-the-line penalty for that incident. Payne trying to contest it, but, once the OL's been handed out, not possible to recant it. So Alex Payne is going to be forced to go right to the back of the field. So clearly not the happiest camper about that one, but, that is the art of racing, it would seem. So what do you do now if you are Alex Bergeron? Because you've got one heck of a final 5 laps coming up ahead of you here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a wild shootout to the finish. We'll see if maybe Payne can get back up there as the pace truck dives off. Green flag back in the air, and we are racing with what is 6 laps to go right there as it changes over. 6 to go. Alex Bergeron hot on the heels of Tucker and Cardwell as he's going to try to make a move right here. Again, he only has 5 laps to go know when they get to the line to make something happen, Nick Cooper, Blake Cannon want to make something happen as well.
Hayden Cardwell hanging on to the lead only just. He's got Kendall Tucker all over him. Alex Bergeron's dropped back. It's now a two-car battle for the race lead. So far, we are all single filed out. Everybody's trying to really round in the next driver ahead to see if we can maybe throw something up the inside. But Cardwell started to pull away now as Kendall Tucker is losing ground.
Yeah, Kendall Tucker, I figured he might try to make a big move and try to make something happen right on the restart. He didn't do it, or at least if he did, it didn't quite work like he wanted to, as he has just been right there. As they're coming to 3 laps to go this time by right there. They crossed the flag stand. 3 circuits around this little tiny track. 0.51 miles is the distance, as they do not have much left to make something happen.
Absolutely, they do not. So what can Kendall Tucker do? He's trying to find the inside of Hayden Cardwell. He's trying to get the momentum on the bottom side. Everybody's hugging the bottom now. 2 laps to go. He's trying to go for it in turn 1. Almost making contact with Cardwell as they throttle their way off of turn 2 to the back straightaway. 1.5 laps left to go.
Yeah, what a battle and what a race it's been, as here comes that 0-0. It's not quite going to work. Hayden Cardwell going to come to the line, and there it is, your 1 to go. Your CRN 1 lap to go here at the 100 lap season opener.
He's got to do it here.
It's Cardwell. I believe Cardwell's got it. It's going to be big if Tucker can pull it away.
And off of turn number 4, Hayden Cardwell clear, and he's going to take the victory here at Knoxville. Tucker second, Bergeron forced to settle for third, and a very clean finish to what has been a very clean race.
Yeah, what a finish. Obviously, you're going to see some celebrating. You can see Hayden Cardwell celebrating back over there in turn 3 and 4. The fireworks go off here at Knoxville Raceway. Again, for a season opener, Nolan, you couldn't ask for a better race. 4 cautions all night long. 60 drivers, narrowed it down to 21. And, you celebrate with fireworks. So that was a celebration of one heck of a race.
Cardwell pulls his machine up into victory lane, runs over the bleachers on the way over, but I mean, hey, you do what you got to do to get your way over there, I suppose. So what a thrilling race, though. What a way to open up the season indeed. 100-lap feature, only 2 cautions. You had about 7 cars that didn't finish the race, but hey, 14 still to finish. I'll take that one.
Definitely take it, as we look at your unofficial race results, again pending any reviews from the admins. Hayden Cardwell, though, getting the win by 0.285 seconds over Kendall Tucker, as well as Alex Bergeron. We'll hopefully be talking to those top 3 here in a minute, as they have been given the address here to chat with us on the radio, followed by Nick Cooper, Blake Cannon, Jacob Fields, Ryan Flatten, Dustin Hall, Craig Swartz, and John Rogerio Jr. rounding out your top 10, Nolan.
And outside the top 10, it's going to be Austin Carr in 11th, Alex Payne 12th, Matthew Logan in 13th, Tanner Folds somehow 42 seconds down in 14th position, actually 2 laps down, check me on that one. Cars that did not finish the race, Ethan Toder in 15th position, Dylan Hauser in 16th, Davin Cardwell 17th, Blake Murray 18th, Ryder Cantillo 18th, Chase Hardy in 20th, and Trevor Fitz rounded up a 21-car field today here in the feature event. The first DNF coming just prior to halfway.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Trevor Fitz. There was a little contact there. We'll see how he feels about it, but we won't get to talk to him here tonight. It'll have to be another night. We will step away here for just a minute. We'll give these guys just a moment to get in here so we can chat with the top 3 drivers, and we will be right back here in just a few moments, hopefully with the top 3. If not, we'll at least have the post-race wrap-up, and we'll talk to these drivers again, hopefully about how it feels to be taking home a little extra cash here tonight. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here, of course, with your top 3 drivers in the post-race show. And sneaking away with a third place here tonight, that is going to be Alex Bergeron. And what a race it was indeed. We'll get rid of that. We don't need the current lap time. But Alex, you get to third place here tonight. A little bit of damage there, a little contact getting there when you were in the lead. So overall, how was the car handling? How did it handle after the contact? And do you think that contact there for the lead really is what might have slowed you down, or did your car just stop handling the way you wanted it to later on?
Not really. There at the end, definitely me and Tucker was faster than Cardo, I think, there at the end. That just definitely a good race overall, and definitely a good battle for the top 3 there, and just kind of didn't take the right line there in the middle of the race, and Aiden got by us. And but I think we definitely had a good race going on, and just there at the end, top 3 basically in the same second, so that's pretty good.
You had a fantastic race. Overall, just an amazing race here. 100 laps, only 2 cautions in the entire race. You know, when you come into a race like this, it's 100 laps. Do you expect to see, more cautions or not?
I mean, it depends on who's in the race, and it depends on the situation you get in, and how hard you want to race people. So, but I think overall, 2 cautions for 100 laps, that's pretty amazing. Pretty good race overall, and pretty good track as well to race on. Definitely ran the top few laps, and good by the leaders there, and the top was pretty good, and tried to bottom a couple laps and felt like I should go back to the top, and Aiden caught us and passed us there. So the top definitely went away, and the track was good. So pretty nice race.
Well, there you go. And of course, Nolan, any questions for Alex before we hand it over to him for his sponsors? And I believe we might have lost Nolan. We have lost Nolan right before he got to interview his favorite driver, but that unfortunate. But Alex, who do you got to take on that car for making it as fast as it is?
Everybody at Team ABRE Sports, Rebecca and Jason, all of our partners, CSI Shocks, Blue Logic App, VK Designs, Wiring Frame Equipment. I guess we're doing an awesome job broadcasting, and Wolf Thunder Esports League for putting this race on, and hopefully there's going to be another one of these.
Well, definitely will be more coming up next week, probably. We'll see. Good job on third place. Second place here is going to be Kendall Tucker. Kendall, you get second place here. We got to ask you the tough question. What do you think you needed to get by Hayden Cardwell here for the win tonight?
Just for the bottom to be the dominant line, honestly. I really enjoy running the bottom around here, and I seem to have some pretty good speed around there. So just was trying to protect the car. Pretty much the first half, 3/4 of the race. I just didn't really feel comfortable going up to the top. I tried it a couple laps, and that's just not where I'm best at, honestly. So I just stuck it to the bottom right there, and was just hoping for a caution. Once we got back into second and passed Alex. So we got that caution. We just had a chance. Closed the gap up, and they was right there on him at the end. But he was just a little bit better tonight. So congrats to him on the win.
The bottom side definitely was not there tonight. That top side is tough, as it always is. If you run up on the top side, we talked about it earlier in the broadcast. You run that risk of getting into the fence up there. How difficult is it here at this particular track? Because that wall is a little different than most tracks. It's more of a guardrail than a wall. Where is that borderline running up there that's safe and not safe?
Yeah, it's when the track gets slick, the top, it's honestly brutal to run. It seems that to get a super curve up there, the cushion sometimes halfway off the wall, so I just know I'm probably, if I stay up there long enough, I'm probably going to fence it. So I'm not as good as Hayden and some of these other guys running the top, but we just try and make the most of what we can. Some of the tracks are tough. Sometimes the top's dominant, and you just have to suck it up and go up there and run it. So if there's a bottom or a middle, I'm definitely going to try and be down there. 'Cause I'm not definitely not as good on the top, but we'll try and keep working at it and get a little better.
Yeah, definitely. You say you ain't too good at the top, but you did a good enough job to bring home second here tonight in a great race for the season opener here for UpperEdge Racing. That being said, we know you got some sponsors on the car to thank. Who are those for making it as fast as it was tonight?
Yeah, just all my guys at Swindell Speed Lab. You got, I think, K1 Race Gear, Bear Archery, and K1 I already said Immo Performance, and Racing Electronics. And thanks to you guys for the league. We'll definitely be back next time.
Well, definitely glad to have you coming back next week. Again, congrats on second place and getting the win here tonight. Driver we haven't seen in quite some time. That is the 07 of Hayden Cardwell. Hayden, you get the win here tonight, and some little beating and banging going on there to get the win here, but in the end, once you got past, you kind of took off there towards, your own zip code. Didn't get too far away, but you definitely pulled away. Were you a little bit scared when that caution came out? These guys were going to have a chance to get back by you.
No, I just, it took me forever to get back in the rhythm there. I think we had almost 80 green flag laps going there, and I think that my feet and everything just froze up there, and we couldn't hardly react. Me and Kendall were talking how we were worn out. This definitely puts a lot of wear on you. You might not think it just being a sim, but there we just had to get a good restart, and just kind of protect the bottom a little bit there, just so nobody could really slide us. We were kind of sliding ourselves, and no, the racetrack was great tonight. I heard Kendall saying, the top was dominant, bottom wasn't too good, but me personally, I thought, 4 lines of the racetrack that you could use were great, because that racetrack was pretty, dude. You could roll middle, top, whatever you want to do, and we found the middle there and kind of set sail there, and I don't think we made too much contact with Alex. He just kind of came across the nose, and I wasn't gonna let off the gas and get out right there, because that's the second time he kind of chopped our nose off. So I don't think it was too much of a problem there. Once we got out front, we kind of set sail from there.
You did. You got out front, you set sail, and parked it in Victory Lane. And you get $100 for winning the race. So we did see you go into Victory Lane, and unfortunately we took out a few of the little stands there, the bleachers. But hey, you get $100. I think it's like a penny or something to fix those. So you should be good. Just to walk away with some change in your pocket. Any plans for that $100 and any sponsors you need to thank on that car?
We'll probably just put the $100 in the bank account and keep it in the stash there, and just try to keep on making some money off here. It's awesome to just kind of making all my money that I am just this teenage kid out there racing, doing what I love to do on here, and doing what I love racing, and it's just really humble. And I just can't thank all the guys at Slick Sim Sport for all they do, all the hard work. Couldn't do it without them. You guys for the broadcast, you guys for the week or two, whatever you guys put on there. I'll definitely be back. World of Thunder and everybody that helped put this deal on, it was great. And I just got to give a couple huge shout outs to a couple buddies of mine, Dino Cox and Hayden Olnby, for watching. Those are some hometown boys out there, and I can't thank them enough for watching. Appreciate it.
Again, congrats on the win here tonight, and $100, and of course 50 for Kendall Tucker and 25 for Alex Bergeron. That will wrap it up, and we also have Dustin Hall getting the Hard Charger Award here tonight. Will, we got Will in here real quick. We got to pull him in, one of our producers, and of course World of Thunder, running this whole shindig for us behind the scenes. Will, I ain't gonna lie, I've got the memory of a squirrel. Who was the sponsor there for that Hard Charger again? I know it was a certain particular individual, but I believe there was a company behind it as well.
Yeah, that would be Brad Dyer, I do believe. His wife sponsored it, actually. His wife's company, Karen's Custard and Hamburger, sponsored the Hard Charger Award that will go to Dustin Hall. $10 for gaining all the positions that he did. He went from 18th to 9th, I believe it was. I just looked at.
Oh, there you have it. And we can hear Will still doing work as we hear the nonstop ding of his Facebook Messenger, people messaging him. Hopefully all good things as well. But again, that will do it here for tonight's race for the season opener here for UpperEdge Racing. 100 laps. And what a race it was. 2 cautions is all we had in the entire 100-lap event. 2 cautions past that for a total of 4 cautions. positions out of 60 cars and over probably 200 laps of racing all total, if not more. But again, we thank everybody for tuning in here tonight as it's going on about 10:30 p.m. Central Time. We'll see you next Tuesday. And, of course, we'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday night for the Shake and Bake Cup Series. Until then, stay safe, and we'll see you then.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSR TV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSR TV would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's